Cyclone MMA.
Man, oh man, Michael Chandler versus Tony Ferguson. Wow. So first of all, the Michael Chandler signing at this point in time looks just amazing. He's kind of becoming like a Justin Gaethje type fighter where you have to watch just because he's so explosive and you know he can win any fight. And at the same time, you know any fight he's in is going to be a super entertaining fight. But if you look at his entrance into the UFC, it was against Dan Hooker, who at the time was like kind of the guy. Like I think he was coming off of a loss against Poirier where he was just putting it on Poirier. At that point, we looked at Poirier at such a, high standard. Not that we don't now, just we thought Poirier was the guy. I'm not saying he's not the guy. That sounds disrespectful. But right now, Charles Oliveira is the guy. And so Michael Chandler comes in and just knocks out Dan Hooker. First punch that lands. First round. Nuts. His second fight is for the title. People are saying it's too soon for him. It's too soon for him. Like he just joined the division. Just joined the UFC. Gets 1 W and fights for a title. People are kind of upset with that. Knocks down Charles Oliveira. Damn near wins the title. Wins the first round and then gets caught and loses in the second round. Still a madly entertaining fight. After that, it was Justin Gaethje. Fight of the night easily. A war. Went in there and just put it on Gaethje. Fought, tooth and nail to get to a decision. Lost the decision. Put on a phenomenal performance. And then he's fighting the boogeyman, Tony Ferguson. Someone who a lot of people think is done. He was coming off of 3 losses. It was Justin Gaethje who he lost to, got TKO'd. And then it was Charles Oliveira, just grinded him out. And when you look at those 2 losses, that's not bad. Justin Gaethje became an interim champion off that. He just barely fought for the title. Charles Oliveira, your current champion, well, not because he missed weight. Still savage, great fighter. And then after that was Beneil Dariush, who's legit AF. He's going to fight for a title soon. Probably should fight Islam or for a title. One of those 2 guys deserves the next, I think, Islam or Beneil. So he lost that fight. And so he's fighting Michael Chandler, a guy who's super explosive. And in the first round of that fight, you saw the Tony Ferguson of old. You saw him throwing elbows. You saw him rocking Chandler. You saw him just active from his back. You saw him bloodied, making his opponent bleed. And then round 2 hits, and the first strike that lands, a front kick from Michael Chandler, completely decimates Tony Ferguson. And I'm a big Tony Ferguson fan. I'm a big fan of El Cucuy. This one was hard to watch. On a card where the first 2, fights, I thought Randy Brown versus Cass Williams was okay. Hua versus OSP was kind of boring. And then seeing like one of your favorite fighters just get completely, his soul left his body. He was not conscious. He was out. I felt really, really bad for Tony Ferguson in that fight. That's tough to see, especially after I thought he won the first round. I thought he looked really good. I thought we were seeing the Tony Ferguson of old, the vintage El Cucuy, and he just got completely rocked by that shot. Who can take that shot? No one can take that shot. So it really sucks to see this happen to Tony. It's really cool for Michael Chandler, who's just continuing to, he took this UFC experience and he's running with it and he's making the best of it. And he might have a couple losses, but he is getting a lot of fans, and I'm sure he's going to get a Conor McGregor payday one day. Like, it just makes sense. Do it at 170, do it at 155. That's a fight that I think people want to see. That's a fight that I think Michael Chandler could win. Yeah, he's making the best of his UFC run, and to see Tony Ferguson lose like this sucks. And I don't think he should be cut. And I'm usually the guy who's saying, guys, when you start stringing together these losses at the end of your career, you should probably cut your losses and get out of the sport while you have some brain cells. You don't want to keep doing this to yourself. But we know how explosive Chandler is. We weren't expecting the front kick, and that's why I think it's so impressive. Kind of just threw it. But if you've seen the legs on that guy, he's got like logs for legs. He's so powerful. Sucks for Tony Ferguson. I thought he handled it with class. It was interesting seeing the Iceman, Chuck Liddell, kind of hold Tony Ferguson after. Kind of gave him a hug. It was talking to him. I'd like to hear that conversation and what took place, but that very much is a private conversation between those 2 legends. But Chuck Liddell knows what it's like to get completely, you're on this pinnacle, you're at the top of your game, and you lose and you get knocked out and it just starts nosediving. I don't think Tony Ferguson should get cut, though, because you can't tell me that he can't beat people in that top 20 range, that 10 to 20 range, those top lightweights who are good but not the great. I think Tony Ferguson can still make a career off those guys. I mean, you look at guys like Andrei Arlovski, who's still getting it done, still getting wins, isn't fighting the best opponents, but they're still kind of gatekeepers, and they still put on good performances. I think Tony Ferguson very much can be one of those guys, but I don't want to see him fighting any of these beasts in the lightweight division, at least not right now. You know, Islam Makhachev is there, Gaethje's there, Poirier's there, Beneil's there, Michael Chandler's there, all in the top 5. But if you look at a Fiziev, a Gamrot, even Dan Hooker, Brad Riddell, Ferreira, I think these are wins that possibly Tony could win. It just sucks to see a guy at this point in his career. I don't think he's washed. I don't think that, you know, there's nothing there. It just sucks to see. I'm a big Tony Ferguson guy, and to see him taking these L's, and now after finally getting finished, just sucks. So I don't know what the point of this video is, really. I just wanted to talk about it, explain my thoughts. I think I wasn't the only one hurting watching that fight. I think a lot of you probably felt it too. I know Tony Ferguson's, you know, a fan favorite. This isn't a Michael Chandler roast. The dude's super impressive and good for him. He's really making the best of his UFC run, and it's great to see that. But I'm hoping that there are brighter days for Tony Ferguson ahead. Much love to El Cucuy, the dude who was on the craziest streak ever, like 10 or 11 fights in a row that he won. Was supposed to fight for a title. He was an interim champion. He had an injury that set him back, and he never got a true title fight. They gave him an interim title fight, and he never got that. Never got the Khabib fight. Always, you know, a company man, got screwed over, and now is just in a tough spot. It's really tough to see. Hoping for good things for Tony Ferguson because he deserves it. He's put in his work. He's put in his time in this sport, in this game. And it sucks to see where he's at this point. But El Cucuy, you're the man. I'm hoping to see you have a performance like you did in that first round for fights to come. And hopefully he can get back in the win column and get this ship turned around, because I still think there's something in there for El Cucuy. Maybe not title shot aspirations, but I think there is a career there to be had. So that is all, guys. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like. Subscribe below. I talk about MMA. Like this video. Comment who you think Tony Ferguson should fight next, or if you think he should retire and hang him up. Let me know, guys. Peace out.